What's up guys? Welcome back once again. Friends, today the story we are about to tell begins with a girl drowning in the ocean. Then we realize that it was a dream that an old man was having. Now the scene shifts. We move to the main character of the story, Eva. She is the governor's daughter of the city, and today she has to go to Cuba with her girlfriend and a friend. But when the two see that Eva has Jonathan, her bodyguard, joins them, upsetting her boyfriend Jet since only the three were meant for the trip. But Eva explains to him that her duty has kept her busy, she didn't bring them along of her own accord. After a long time of explaining and persuading, he gives in, and then these people join the boarding line where the staff looks at Eva's passport, recognizes her, and says that they had canceled her father's flight. This time, she was happy to hear that, and meanwhile, we see a family who are about to board the same flight that these people are going on. Now, while waiting in the waiting area, Jonathan tells Eva that if she is feeling troubled, he can leave, he won't tell her father anything. Eva stops Jonathan because he's been with her since childhood and keeps her safe, but this time she didn't tell Jet anything. After everyone boards the flight one by one, Eva notices very few passengers on board, which seems very strange to her. Jet explained that with a delayed flight, everyone leaves, making the area empty. Don't worry too much. Meanwhile, Kaylee was busy annoying the flight attendant, and she takes her revenge shortly after. Additionally, we see a family with a young girl named Bailey. Her grandparents are going to drop her off at her parents' home. Suddenly, we feel turbulence. But the pilot said that a group of birds collided with their blades. There's nothing to worry about. Everyone also fastens their seatbelts. The sequence doesn't stop here, the rebels start fidgeting again. So Bailey looked out the window and what she saw made everyone panic. The engine is roaring like a gunshot, which indicates to everyone. All the passengers are feeling an atmosphere of fear because now everyone is starting to think that if by any mistake the plane crashes, they might all be killed. After a short while, a piece of the engine breaks off and enters the plane's outer shell, causing a large hole due to the air pressure inside the plane. What happened next? As soon as the hole formed, part of the plane broke off, and then one by one, all the passengers seated on that side were blown out of the cabin. Utter chaos broke out on the entire plane, with screams heard all around. Meanwhile, Eva was extremely worried something might happen to her. A driver notices Kylie, whose arm bone had broken and was sticking out. The thing was causing her internal injuries. Then the plane would fall into the sea, whose impact would either injure anyone who survived or cause them to lose their lives. Only some people are lucky in this. The plane does not fall directly onto the ocean surface. Instead, it strikes a stone, causing it to get stuck in such a way. This creates an airlock in the rear part of the plane, preventing water from entering the inside but worsening the oxygen situation. They started running low on oxygen and had to ration it in some way. Only then the flight attendant remembers that they have 2 cylinders. When she went to take them, it was found that they were empty. How unlucky can it get? Next, we see that Nanny, who had regained consciousness due to drowning, and Daniel tries to wake her up. Meanwhile, Jonathan arrives and informs them that Belly's grandfather has passed away, and upon hearing this, both become despondent. Here, Jonathan said that they shouldn't panic, otherwise everything will be ruined. They were still just above the ocean surface, so they had to stay alert every second. And had to work with their minds. Meanwhile, Eva checks her phone, but the network here is impossible, so she should have given up hope. But later, Daniel explained that the captain had sent a message before the crash. Hopefully, they received that message and will come to rescue us soon. Meanwhile, Nani says that she saw an old man in the front seat of the plane who had his own oxygen cylinder. If he brings someone, then our work could be possible. Vanatin agrees to go that way, but to get there, he has to swim under the plane. Still, he reached there, but when he started to come back, a large shark suddenly attacked him. The impact caused the airlock area to shake. Everyone began to think that Jonathan would not return, but he came back, and everyone was very happy to see him. He got an oxygen cylinder and advised everyone not to stay too long away from water. We are safe. As much as possible because there's something inside it that we won't be able to see, but it can easily observe all of us. Jonathan has been badly injured. That suddenly something comes and pulls him into the water. And everyone just keeps watching, unable to do anything. Jonathan's blood nearby clearly shows Avu isn't in this world, but he remembered something Nini had told him. So she tells everyone that we need to go back. Where there's less water, staying here could increase the danger. That's why everyone has now moved back. When Nini saw the bone sticking out of Kaylee, she started treating it. Actually, friends, she was a nurse in the US Marine Corps, so she is well aware of such situations. She placed a magazine between the bone, then firmly applied tape to the same area. Slowly, the bone will return to its original position. Meanwhile, a helicopter flies over the ocean after news arrived that the governor's plane carrying his BT crashed. Along with it were 2 divers, but the entire sea has been scoured, they can't see anything. How could they even look, since the plane is deep underwater? Meanwhile, everyone is praying that somehow the water won't reach them. Suddenly, they hear a disturbance. It's a shark entering the field. Having stopped breathing, it wants to eat the corpses of those dead people. But that's not all. At the same time, a large shark approaches their entire plane. A collision causes a strong jolt. Bailey was scared, and Tabua reassured her that nothing would happen to them because of his is the governor, he will surely find them. Only then did their plane begin to fall because of the collision. All the people were able to hold on to the plane because they now believe that no child. Their fate is renewed as the plane stalls on a ravine's edge, saving their lives. However, water now flows rapidly backward. Kaylee says we must ascend and signal for help, or else staying here will lead to our deaths. She also wonders how they can endure being in water for so long. At that moment, Kaylee remembered seeing 2 passengers carrying scuba diving gear. Daniel, boarding the plane, mentioned the equipment would be stored below with no oxygen in it. Because they could board with empty cylinders, we must abandon this idea and consider alternatives. Up there, we examine the chopper again. Jin finally sees the plane's scattered debris, and seeing this, he sends both his divers down so that they can go and find the entire. Just shortly after the plane went down, they found it with passengers, making all the survivors very happy. Their lives will be saved. But there was someone else here who was lurking behind their lives. Yes, when one diver signals that everything is all right. We have come to get you out, a shark comes and drags him away from behind. They keep looking toward him like this, but it is of no use. But still, the other diver was expected to be alive, but after several hours passed, his hope of survival faded. Meanwhile, the chopper above is running out of fuel. Therefore, they give the location to the other team and then take off. Down here, Eva and the others are being closely tormented by fear of death. Because the water is rising, Yuva suggests that if we go down and bring back the other diver's oxygen cylinder, it could help us. So she agrees. Eva goes down, but a distant shadow appears, its nature still unknown. So Jack goes down to find out what it is. But as he cautiously moves forward, his foot unexpectedly slips and he swiftly falls into the cold water, which becomes his biggest mistake. But in this arduous struggle, Jet tragically lost one of his legs, causing him immense sorrow because he can never fully regain his previous active lifestyle again. He had lost one of his legs, causing him great sorrow because he can never continue his sports career. Here, Eva had decided that she would go to Bulgaria and bring that back. She has the diving items that belong to those passengers. Then Dynil tells her a shortcut through which she can reach there quickly. Idri went down with a flare and quickly brought back the bag, which contained 4 diving suits. While they were examining all these items, they suddenly felt a jolt. Perhaps the shark was trying to somehow bring down the plane's cabin so it could eat them. When everyone looked at Jot, he had already lost his breath. Due to excessive rain, she dies. Poor Eva is completely shattered because she never thought that this would be her last trip with Jot. This is her final trip. Nanny reassures her that her sacrifice won't be in vain. They must now escape this place alone without letting anyone stop them. Suddenly, the plane's front begins to break, causing it to descend rapidly. Now we must act quickly. Therefore, those people put on their diving suits. Iva promised Billy that she would save his life under any circumstances. Stay with her and don't go here and there, but Nana has now broken the promise. They have realized that she cannot swim from such a height. She embraces Billy for the last time, seeing it as flawed but stays silent. Gradually, people exit the plane one by one, revealing the full cockpit only then. Tumbles down and the airplane is also rapidly descending. Daniel and Kyle are both moving forward together, but Nana keeps them behind. And begins to remember her husband because now they have to reach him. Meanwhile, Kyle starts breathing from an air pocket, so Daniel goes to take it back. But by then it was too late because a shark had arrived and killed and eaten it at the same time. Meanwhile, Iva found the corpse of the dead diver, so she removed his oxygen cylinder. Only then Daniel also reached there and gave her the cylinder, saying that she should take Billy to go up and as soon as she reaches slightly higher, release her oxygen back. This would make her ascent speed faster. They did so, but as soon as it was Iva's turn, a large shark arrived. Seeing it, she becomes even more scared because she is convinced that she won't survive. Then Isher gets nauseated by Kyle's corpse and leaves her. Iov took a deep breath but didn't hold it for long because at that moment another shark arrived, so she starts trying to get out from the front part of the plane. But this task wasn't that easy because, in the end, the plane began to fall below, and under pressure, it couldn't move forward. He tightly held onto the seat, clinging and beginning to fall outside the plane when all of a sudden his side wing came off, which completely saved him. Now he opened his oxygen bag, causing him to rapidly ascend. In the final moments, he lost consciousness, but when his eyes opened, he was on the water's surface. And there was no one around except the darkness, neither of them were visible anywhere. Meanwhile, he sees a rescue chopper, which lifted him up where finally both of them became visible, where his two companions who had been rescued earlier were seen. They brought the plane with them. The pilot asked Eva if anyone else had survived. She answered no, letting son Belly know her grandmother was gone forever. Eva embraced her and explained that they had sacrificed their lives to save her. That's why you should achieve something great in life so that they will always be proud of you. The story ends now. Did you like it? Let us know below. See you next video.